Forget green tea right now. You've eaten less, you've tried fasting, you've moved your body, and that belly is still there. Stubborn, hard, unfair. The scale won't budge, your jeans won't loosen, and you start thinking, what am I doing wrong? And then the worst part hits at night. You drink the wrong thing at the wrong time, and suddenly it's 2 or 3 a.m. Another bathroom trip. Your sleep breaks. Your cravings rise the next day. Your belly looks even more swollen in the morning, and that foggy, heavy feeling, it doesn't leave. Listen carefully. This isn't just fat under the skin. For many people over 50, it's visceral fat, plus slow digestion, plus broken sleep, a perfect trap. So tonight, I'm giving you 7 simple bedtime teas, cheap, easy, and gentle for older bodies. But don't click away, because the real power isn't just the tea, it's the timing. And at the end, I'll reveal the #1 tea most people use the wrong way, and the simple fix that helps you sleep through the night without constant interruptions. Watch until the very end. Your best lighter morning might be one small change away. If you're new here, subscribe, because every week I share safe, practical routines for belly fat, blood sugar, sleep, and healthy aging. And I want you to leave a short but meaningful comment right now. Tell me where you're watching from and your one goal. Tea. 1. Turmeric with black pepper. Stop. Don't underestimate this one, because the most dangerous belly fat doesn't sit on the surface. It hides deep. It wraps around your liver and pancreas. And it feeds inflammation like a slow-burning fuse. That's why your waist can feel locked, even when you're doing everything right. This is where T1 hits. Hard. Turmeric with black pepper. Simple on the outside, powerful where it counts. Turmeric contains curcumin, one of the most studied natural compounds for calming chronic inflammation. One of the biggest triggers behind visceral fat buildup. When inflammation rises, your body shifts into storage mode. Fat clings, metabolism slows, the belly refuses to budge. But at night, your body naturally enters repair mode. Drinking turmeric tea before bed helps push the system in the right direction during the exact hours your body is already trying to reset. Here's the critical detail most people miss. Curcumin doesn't absorb well on its own. Drink turmeric alone, and you waste the impact. Black pepper is the switch. It contains piperine, which can increase curcumin absorption dramatically, often described as up to 20 times. That means your body can actually use what you're drinking instead of letting it slide through. With that one pinch, turmeric becomes sharper, stronger, and far more effective. Taken about 1 hour before sleep, this tea works on multiple fronts. It supports your liver, your fat processing engine. It helps improve insulin sensitivity, so your body's more likely to process sugar instead of storing it as visceral fat. And it supports digestion, which tends to slow down with age, so you don't go to bed heavy and wake up bloated. Over time, this isn't just about a smaller waist, it's about lighter mornings, less puffiness, and more steady energy when you open your eyes. The protocol is precise. Boil 1 cup of water, add 1 teaspoon turmeric powder and a small pinch of black pepper, then simmer on low for 3 minutes. Strain it. Drink it warm, ideally 60 minutes before bed. This golden drink doesn't scream. It works quietly through the night, reducing inflammation, supporting metabolism, and giving your body a real chance to fight visceral fat the natural way. Now I want a quick comment from you. Keep it short but meaningful. Your biggest struggle. I read them all. And don't move, because T2 looks gentle and beautiful, but it has a metabolic effect most people don't expect. Let's go to the next one. T2, hibiscus. T1 was about putting out the fire, inflammation. Now we go after the next trap that keeps your belly stuck even when you're trying hard, the heavy, puffy midsection that isn't always fat. It's often water retention and bloating, especially at night. You go to bed feeling tight. You wake up feeling swollen. The scale barely moves, but your waistline refuses to loosen. This is where T2 steps in. Hibiscus, a ruby red infusion that looks harmless, but it carries serious metabolic leverage. Hibiscus is rich in anthocyanins, bioactive compounds linked to thermogenic activity, meaning they can keep your metabolism from fully powering down while you sleep. Normally, nighttime slows everything as your body shifts into repair mode. Hibiscus helps keep certain fat-burning pathways on, so your system continues breaking down stored energy, especially the dangerous visceral fat that sits deep in the abdominal region. But here's why hibiscus hits your main pain point. It doesn't just target fat, it targets the bloat that makes you feel defeated. Hibiscus has a mild diuretic effect, which means it helps your body release excess fluid that inflates your belly and hides your real progress. Many people think they're not losing, when the truth is they're holding water. When that water drops the right way, your midsection looks tighter, your stomach feels calmer, and mornings feel lighter. Studies have linked regular hibiscus intake with reductions in waist circumference, particularly in overweight individuals. Not overnight magic, but a real, repeatable habit, especially for people who want inches, not just a number on the scale. The protocol is simple and strict. Add 2 tablespoons dried hibiscus to 1 cup boiling water, steep for 10 minutes, strain, drink it warm without sugar, ideally 2 hours before bed. That timing matters. Enough time for the fluid release effect to happen before you fall asleep, so you're not waking up for bathroom trips. If you have low blood pressure, take blood pressure meds, use diuretics, or have kidney issues, start with a smaller amount and check with your clinician. Hibiscus can lower blood pressure and increase fluid loss in some people. Drop a quick comment, age plus country. Now T3 is different. It doesn't focus on water or metabolism first. It goes straight for the hormone that cements belly fat in place under pressure. Cortisol. Let's move on. T3. Sage. T3 is sage, an herb most people leave on the spice rack, even though it targets one of the biggest reasons belly fat feels cemented after 50. Cortisol. When stress hormones stay elevated, especially in the evening, your body does not relax into repair. It stays on guard. It tightens. It holds. And visceral fat does not just cling. It settles in like stored emergency fuel your system refuses to release. Sage tea pushes back by helping your system downshift out of that constant alert state. It contains compounds like rosmarinic acid and flavonoids, studied for calming inflammatory stress signals and supporting nervous system balance. Translation: when cortisol eases, sleep deepens, cravings soften, digestion moves smoother, and your body becomes more willing to stop hoarding around the abdomen and start using stored energy during the night. But you have to brew it correctly. This is not a boil-it-to-death herb. Use hot water, not a violent rolling boil, so you do not scorch the delicate compounds. Add 1 tablespoon of dried sage to 1 cup of hot water, steep for 8 minutes, strain, and drink it warm about 40 minutes before bed. Many people notice the payoff first in the morning. Less heaviness, less puffiness, a calmer belly, and sleep that actually feels like sleep. One important note before you try it: sage is not for everyone, and more is not better. If you tend to run low on blood pressure, you are pregnant, or you are managing medications that affect blood pressure or hormones, treat this as a check-first herb, start with a smaller amount, and get professional guidance if needed. Now, T4 is a different kind of weapon. It does not target stress first, it targets heat and circulation, and it can flip your metabolism on at night fast. Let's move on to T4. T4, ginger with lemon. T4 is ginger with lemon, and it targets a different problem than sage. Sage calms the stress signal. Ginger and lemon ignite the engine. This is for the nights when your digestion feels slow, your belly feels heavy, and your metabolism seems to power down the moment you lie flat. Ginger is the spark. It has that warming bite for a reason. Its active compounds, including gingerols and shogols, drive a thermogenic effect, meaning it gently raises internal heat and nudges your system to keep burning through the night. Not a frantic burn, a steady one, like turning a low flame back on when everything wants to go cold. Then lemon tightens the logic. It brings vitamin C for antioxidant support and pectin, a soluble fiber that helps smooth out blood sugar swings. That matters at night because glucose spikes during sleep can push your body into storage mode, especially around the belly. When blood sugar stays steadier, your system is more likely to use stored fuel instead of stacking new visceral deposits. The preparation is simple but specific. Peel and thinly slice about 2 centimeters of fresh ginger root. Boil it in 1 cup of water for 5 minutes. Remove it from heat, squeeze in the juice of half a lemon, then let it cool until it is warm, not scorching. Drink it about 1 hour before bed. This tea does more than push fat loss. Ginger improves circulation, which helps move nutrients where they need to go and clears metabolic friction that builds up with age. It also stimulates digestive enzymes, which is why people with nighttime heaviness or bloating often feel relief first in the morning. A calmer stomach, a lighter body, less pressure sitting in the abdomen, and a metabolism that keeps doing its job while you sleep. One important note before you use it regularly: ginger can feel stimulating for sensitive people, and it can aggravate reflux in some. Start with a smaller amount, pay attention to your sleep and your stomach, and adjust from there. T5, horsetail. T5 is horsetail, and it is built for a very specific struggle. Not just stubborn fat, but the stubborn puffiness that makes your midsection look heavier than it truly is. The kind of bloat that shows up at night, sits there all morning, and convinces you nothing is working. Most people know horsetail for hair, skin, and nails. That is the surface story. The deeper story is minerals and clearance. Horsetail is rich in compounds and minerals, especially silica and potassium, that support your body's natural cleansing pathways. And that matters because visceral fat is not passive tissue. It can trap metabolic waste and inflammatory byproducts that keep the system irritated and slow. At night, your liver is already running its cleanup shift. Horsetail does not replace that process. It strengthens it. It helps your body let go of what it has been storing, so fat is easier to mobilize instead of staying locked in place. And then comes the benefit many people notice first. Horsetail has a mild diuretic action. It encourages the release of excess fluid that inflates the abdomen and hides real progress. When that fluid drops, the belly looks less swollen, the waistline feels less tight, and mornings feel lighter. There is another layer too. Horsetail contains antioxidants that counter oxidative stress, the quiet damage that can slow fat loss and accelerate aging at the same time. When oxidative stress eases, metabolism runs cleaner, energy feels steadier, and the body stops behaving like it is constantly under strain. To make it, keep it straightforward. Put 1 tablespoon of dried horsetail into 1 cup of boiling water, cover it, and let it sit for about 12 minutes. Strain it well and drink it warm roughly 2 hours before bedtime. That window gives your body time to clear fluid before you settle into deep sleep, so you are not getting pulled out of bed later. And a final reality check. Horsetail is a draining herb, not a daily more is better drink. If your kidneys are already compromised or you are on medications that change fluid balance, this is the one you do not experiment with blindly. For everyone else, use it occasionally, listen to your body, and rotate it with the other teas so the routine stays effective without becoming harsh. T6, cinnamon. T6 is cinnamon, and it targets one of the most common reasons visceral fat keeps winning after 50. Unstable blood sugar. You can eat clean, you can fast, you can walk every day and still feel stuck if glucose keeps spiking and crashing. Because when blood sugar swings, your body reads it as danger. It stores, it clings, it protects the belly. Cinnamon is not just a sweet smell, it is a metabolic signal. Its key active compound, cinnamaldehyde, is known for influencing how your cells respond to insulin. In plain terms, it can improve insulin sensitivity, which matters because insulin is the storage switch. When your cells listen better, your system does not have to pump out as much insulin, and excess sugar is less likely to get packed away as visceral fat. That shift is especially valuable at night, during your natural fasting window, when insulin should be lower and fat use should be easier. Cinnamon tea helps smooth that transition. It steadies the signal, so your body can switch from storage mode to burn mode while you sleep. It also carries a mild thermogenic effect, meaning it can keep metabolism gently active without revving you up or disturbing sleep when used correctly. And it can reduce those overnight glucose spikes that leave you waking up hungry, foggy, and bloated. The preparation matters. Use a true cinnamon stick, not powder, because sticks preserve the active compounds more reliably and avoid the gritty overload that powders can bring. Put one stick into 1 cup of water, bring it to a gentle boil, and simmer for 5 minutes. Remove it from the heat, let it cool until warm, and drink it about 40 minutes before bed. That timing gives your system a head start in stabilizing blood sugar before you settle into deep sleep. Now, a grounded caution: if you live with diabetes or take medications that lower blood sugar, cinnamon can amplify your drops. This is not a wing it tea. Start small, track how you feel, and coordinate with your clinician if your numbers are already tightly controlled. Used wisely, cinnamon becomes a simple nightly tool that helps regulate sugar, reduce belly storage signals, and support a calmer, cleaner metabolism through the night. T7, dandelion. Most people walk past this plant and think, nothing. That mistake can keep your belly stuck for years, because T7, dandelion, is not a cute herbal trend. It is a direct hit on the hidden bottleneck behind stubborn midsection fat, sluggish fat processing. Here is what matters. Belly fat does not only grow because you ate too much. It grows when your system cannot process fats cleanly and efficiently, especially at night, and the liver is the gatekeeper. When bile flow is weak, fat breakdown is weaker. Digestion slows. The abdomen feels heavy. Visceral fat gets a quieter, safer place to stay wrapped around your organs. Dandelion's naturally bitter compounds push bile production and bile flow, which is the mechanism your body uses to break down fats and move them out instead of letting them linger. This is why dandelion can be so effective for the waistline. It does not support detox in vague language. It upgrades the machinery that decides what happens to fat after dinner and what happens to stored belly fat while you sleep. And there is a second advantage that makes people feel progress faster. Dandelion is naturally rich in potassium and acts as a mild diuretic in many people, helping your body release excess fluid that inflates the belly and hides your real fat loss. Less water retention means the midsection looks tighter and feels less pressurized. Make it with discipline. Use 1 tablespoon of dried dandelion leaves or 2 tablespoons of fresh, well-washed leaves. Add them to 1 cup of hot water. Cover and steep for 15 minutes. Strain thoroughly. Drink it warm about 1 hour before bed. Expect bitterness? That bitter edge is the active signal. If it hits too hard at first, use a few drops of honey, then taper down as your taste adapts. One serious note: this is not a casual nightly tea if you have gallbladder disease, bile duct issues, kidney disease, or you take medications that affect fluid balance or potassium. In those cases, get medical guidance before making it routine. Used correctly, dandelion becomes a closer that does 2 things. Belly fat hates. It improves fat processing so visceral storage is harder to defend, and it drains the puffiness that makes you feel stuck. You wake up lighter, cleaner, and finally moving in the right direction. Consistency is the real key with these teas. Pick 1 or 2 that feel right for your body, then rotate them through the week as a simple bedtime ritual. Watch the changes that matter most after 50. Not just the scale, but your waistline, your bloating, how calm your stomach feels at night, how deeply you sleep, and how light you feel in the morning. Remember, visceral fat is slow to build and slow to come down. These teas work best when your foundation is strong. An age-appropriate diet with more fiber, enough lean protein, and healthy fats to keep blood sugar steady. Hydrate during the day because dehydration can quietly slow nighttime fat burning. And avoid heavy meals at least 3 hours before your tea so digestion is not overloaded and your body can actually use the herbs effectively. If this helped you, please tap like, share it with a friend or loved one, and subscribe to Senior Health Guard so you do not miss what's next. Next video, a simple 7-day rotation plan, the best timing to avoid bathroom trips, and the biggest mistakes that keep belly fat stuck.